Connor Cordova, MMAWeekly.com, here today with Benson Henderson. Thanks for taking the time, Ben.
Of course, no problem.
So, Ben, we're back here in Colorado, your hometown. How are you going to feel when you got that hometown support behind you?
It's going to feel great. I'm really excited for it. I like to feed off the crowd. I get excited. I get amped up. You guys see me out there in between rounds.
From the WEC, there was a huge pool of talent in the WEC, especially while you were champion. Do you feel that that experience and that in itself, you losing the title, motivated you even more to win the UFC title?
For sure, coming over to the UFC was a big deal. I wanted to perform well. I had to listen and hear a lot of questions about, oh, how would you stack up? How would you do? I got that question, I don't know, 27 times a day. I got it quite a bit. So hearing that question, I always like, I don't know. Who knows? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll lose 2 in a row. Maybe I'll get knocked out. Maybe I'll lose, in a horrific fashion, who knows? Or maybe I'll win 4 in a row and I'll have the belt. Let's find out though. My only answer to that was always, I'd like to find out. Let's find out how I stacked up. So coming over to the UFC was obviously a big motivator. Losing the belt, that was one of the best things that ever happened to me. That loss against Anthony Pettis, from that, I became a better fighter. You learn from every fight, whether you win or lose, especially from a loss. You should learn quite a bit. I learned quite a bit from that loss.
And the UFC gave you no kind of warm-up period either. I mean, you came in fighting some of the best people in the division, like Mark Bocek, Jim Miller. Having those kind of wins behind you, did that really give your mental game an edge to say, this is where I belong?
I would say so, yeah, sure. I know there's no real easy fights in the UFC. Every fight you're going to have is going to be a tough one. If you slack off a little bit, you're going to get put to sleep most likely. So I knew that coming over, I had to bring my A game, and then having success against those guys, it just I guess you could say confirm what I thought in my head, what I knew in my head already.
Now, you're going to be in here for 25 minutes again, well, potentially with Frankie Edgar. That's already happened. What are you going to do to change up your game, if anything at all, to help adjust for the second fight with Frankie Edgar?
Like we said before during the press conference and whatnot, probably going to be pretty similar dance to him and I that we have. He might learn a few new twists and turns and twirls and whatnot. I might learn a few new twists and twirls and turns and all that stuff. But pretty much, I think it'll be pretty similar. He might try a new game plan, new tactic. I might try a new game plan, new tactic. But it's a matter of who improved, who got better. I'm in the gym every day, 4 times a day, 3 times a day, just trying to get better, work on my fundamentals.
Well, we're so excited for it. Thanks a lot, Ben. Really appreciate it. Good luck. Connor Cordova, MMA Weekly.